Welcome back to the channel. In this video, you're gonna practice more basic English with the legend of Troy. Let's go. Part 1. Introduction to Troy. A long time ago, there was a city called Troy. Troy was a very rich and powerful city. It was located in what is now Turkey. The story of Troy comes from ancient Greek legends. These stories were told by poets and writers many years ago. One famous poet, Homer, wrote about Troy in his epic poems, the Iliad and the Odyssey. The story of Troy is about a big war between the Greeks and the Trojans. Many heroes and gods were part of this story. Part 2. The conflict begins. The conflict started because of two men fighting over a woman named Helen. Helen was very beautiful. She was married to the king Menelaus, king of Sparta, a city in Greece. But one day, a prince from Troy, named Paris, visited Sparta. Paris fell in love with Helen and took her back to Troy. The king of Sparta was very angry. He asked other Greek kings to help him get Helen back. Many Greek soldiers and ships went to Troy to fight and to try to get Helen back. This started a long war between the Greeks and the Trojans. One of the most famous Greek heroes was Achilles. Achilles was a great warrior. He was very strong and brave. He fought many battles against the Trojans. Another important Greek hero was Odysseus. He was very clever and thought of many smart plans. On the side of the Trojans, Paris had a brother named Hector. Hector was a great warrior too. He was the leader of the Trojan army. Hector and Achilles fought many times during the war. They were both very strong and brave. Part 3. The Trojan Horse. The famous Trojan Horse. After many years of fighting, the Greeks had an idea to trick the Trojans. A Greek hero named Odysseus thought of a plan. The Greeks built a big wooden horse. Some Greek soldiers hid inside the horse. The other Greek soldiers pretended to leave and sailed away. They pretended to go away. The Trojans thought the Greeks had given up and left the horse as a gift. So the Trojans, they thought, okay, the Greeks are gone. They left this horse as a present. They brought the horse into their city, inside the city. At night, the Greek soldiers came out of the horse and opened the city gates. The other Greek soldiers came back and entered the city. They attacked Troy and won the war. The city of Troy was destroyed. Achilles was not part of the Trojan Horse plan because he had died earlier in the war. He was killed by Paris, who shot an arrow at his heel, the only weak part of Achilles' body. This is why we call a weak spot an Achilles heel today. This is a very common expression nowadays, Achilles heel. The Greeks won the war, but many heroes died. The story of Troy is a tale of bravery, cleverness, and tragedy. It teaches us about the power of love and the cost of war. Was Troy real? The city of Troy, was it a real city? The story of Troy is very old. It comes from ancient Greek legends. These stories were told by poets and writers many years ago. These stories are about 3,000 years old. But was Troy a real city? Many people have wondered if Troy really existed or if it was just a legend. Archaeologists have found a place in Turkey called Hisarlik. They believe this place is where Troy once stood. They found old walls and buildings there. They also found signs of fire and some arrowheads. This shows that there might have been a war there, just like in the stories. So it seems that Troy was a real city. But we do not know if the stories about the Trojan War are completely true. The stories might be a mix of real events and legends. The city of Troy was very old. It was first settled around 3600 BC and became a small city. The war is believed to have happened around 1200 BC. So yes, archaeologists believe that Troy was a real city. And if you have any suggestions, please write a comment on the comment section for popular stories or historical events so I can make more activities for you. Remember that listening and reading is very important, okay? Try to find in this story at least 5 new words or 5 new expressions that you didn't know. Write it down, go on Google Translate and check the meanings. If you want to practice your speaking, you can try to tell the story using your own words. You can do it in front of a mirror or to other people, or you can record yourself with your phone and then you can watch the video of you speaking English. So use it to practice at home, guys, as well. You can practice more listening and reading, watching these videos. I'm sure they will help you. So have a look, check it out. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.